Hello, everybody. Welcome in for another episode of Vol Club Confidential. I'm your host, Austin Price. Tennessee spring practice is underway. The baseball team continues to play really well under Tony Vitello. It's a great time on Rocky Top. Let's bring in Spires and Vol Club's Will Watkins. Will, I know you all want to get more and more local businesses, either at the state level or just locally in Knoxville, to work with. How's that been received, and how do we get, the Vol Club reaching out and getting more and more local businesses involved?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that's something that's a big area of focus for us in 2023, trying to bring more value to the businesses across the state and Knoxville specifically. I think there's a lot of value for working with these athletes, and these guys and girls on campus are really excited to be building these relationships and working with local businesses. So we want to try to get as many involved as we can. So, we're just hitting the pavement and trying to find as many businesses across the state as we can to get involved with the athletes here at Tennessee.
You saw, recently, Nico Iamaleava, he got a deal.
Yep.
And Joe Milton close to getting the deal.
Yep.
Locally. Kind of take me through some of those, the inner workings of some of those things.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody go buy some Force Factor products, So Nico got that deal done with Force Factor in Walmart, which is great. He's a very marketable kid. People are excited to work with him. A ton of interest in Joe. We got some things on the 5-yard line that we're about to get pushed through. So, we got a lot of businesses reaching out to us, and they're calling to try to get involved with these athletes. And so we're just trying to pair them up where that makes sense and get as many deals for these athletes as we can.
About 3 or 4 weeks ago, and we'll get you out here on this. About 3 or 4 weeks ago, you had a bunch of the athletes out on Dr. Seuss Read Across America week, reading at local schools, reading to second graders, third graders, fourth graders. How important is that, and how did you kind of see the players really kind of gravitate towards that? Because at one point or another, they were that second grader or that third grader.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that runs through our 501c3 volunteer legacy, and it's a great way for us to partner with charities across the state. And this one was, a lot of schools across the region. So we had a bunch of athletes out there, and honestly, right now, that's where the athletes love spending their most time. It's probably what gets them the most excited, being able to go back and give back to those kids. Like you said, they were those second and third graders. So when they get to go out and hang out with those kids that look up to them, that's a huge opportunity for them. So the athletes love getting those opportunities. So anything like that we can do, we try to do that and give back to these communities.
Yeah, well, I'll be a Vol Club member. Cool signed autograph memorabilia. You get these cool pullovers like Turtleson with the Vol Club logo on it. And if you're part of the secret society, the one with the little feather on it, that's some top end stuff. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you here soon. Now let's bring in our 2 marquee attractions for this episode, and that being BYU transfers Keenan Pili and Gabe Jeudy-Lally. Keenan, Gabe, thanks for coming in. When you're sitting there playing at BYU last year, I'm sure you thought we'll probably be teammates again, but not at BYU. So kind of take me through 2 separate decisions, but you guys ultimately end up at the same place. We'll start with you, Keenan.
Yeah, it was cool. I think I entered before the bowl game. He entered after. My process was pretty quick. I think maybe a week and a half I was committed, so maybe 2 weeks. But yeah, going through that process, transfer portal, it was hectic. It's like recruiting on steroids, and everything's going on in this small amount of time. So it was cool. It was interesting. And then he entered the portal and ended up here. That was cool for me. I already knew Gabe, so that was nice for sure.
Keenan committed. Nobody knew it was coming. It was great, except for me. And it would have been that way with Gabe, but Gabe's it drew out a little longer. And then some fans started finding out. All of a sudden, it was on, it was on our message board more and more, and I kept trying to ignore it. And eventually, that has
leaking.
It was leaking. That's right. I think it started leaking from the UCLA people.
Yeah, that's what thing happened. But essentially, just like Keenan said, I wasn't gonna enter transfer portal, but then we had some coaching changes and such, and I thought that I had to do what was best for me. And so I entered after the bowl game, right before New Year's, and the process was the same. It was about a week and a half for me as well, and because some of the other places I was debating on going started school way earlier than Tennessee, so I had to make the decision between then. But I didn't make the decision in mind with like having people that I knew at the school, but it's nice, you know, at the end of the day to make a decision, have somebody that you already know, so the transition process isn't as hard.
All right, we got one over here. He's been around the block a time or two. You had to go on a Mormon mission. You're older. You're 24. You turned 25 yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. Soon to be 25. You'll soon to be able to rent a car. He's married. Then this one started at Vanderbilt. Went to BYU for about 6 months and now ends up at Tennessee. You both have played in Neyland Stadium before. What's it like to play in Neyland Stadium as an opponent?
Pretty crazy. I always reflect back on that time we played and how it came full circle, because that was the first year I got back from my mission that I played at Tennessee. BYU came here, and all that I remember is the people were super cool, super nice.
Until BYU won.
Probably. Didn't see anyone after. But the environment was crazy. Crazy environment at Neyland.
What about for you?
I guess my experience is a little bit different because going at Vanderbilt, it's a little bit of a rivalry, right? And my freshman year we had just beat Tennessee 3 years in a row. So it was like we were going to Neyland, and I remember we were driving underneath the bridge or something like that, and we were just getting pelted. Like our bus was getting hit by a whole bunch of stuff, and I was like, what is going on? They're like, oh, this is like very much regular. But it's fun. It was a good environment. Both games have actually been really rainy, so like a lot of people left after a half both times that we played. But you know, the worst part actually about playing Neyland is that you guys cut off the hot water versus anytime we play at the end of the game. So like we would lose and have to take the coldest shower in the world, and it was the end of November. So it was just like not much fun by any means.
So it's either stink or freeze. Take me through getting here, kind of acclimating to Tennessee. What have you enjoyed about it since you've been here the last couple of months, and what's it been like?
It's been super smooth for me. Being married, it's always, you know, another challenge.
Sure.
You got to bring another partner with you, and my wife's enjoyed it as well. It's easy for me having football, having a team, and somewhere to be every day. Smooth transition, not hard at all. But to Knoxville, it's super great place. I think we've enjoyed that. It's like such a relaxed environment. Kind of fits us, and starting to get into the scene a little bit. Still trying to figure out the fishing scene. That's what I like to do, and some of those type of things. But it's been good so far.
Yeah, honestly, it feels more normal here than where I was before. You know, it was a little bit of culture shock. So it's nice if you get back into some semblance of things that I'm used to. I know Tennessee pretty well because I was here for 3 years prior to that. But it's nice. Everybody here is really supportive and such, and my family likes coming out here. So it has been good overall.
When some guys on the team want to roll to Nashville, are you like, yeah, I know lots about that. Let's roll.
I definitely know a lot about it. I always explain Nashville as it was great to be there for 3 years and get my degree, but like I would never want to like live there. It's just like so much is going on, and it's just going to continue to keep going that way because of what's going on over there.
Sure.
So it's a nice 2-3 day visit, and then you know get out of there. That's for sure.
You come in, we all gonna make everybody's gonna make the grandpa jokes. I'm sure you catch a little bit of that with the team, but you come in as kind of this veteran guy in a room that is really young outside of, you know, Aaron Beasley. I mean, it's all kind of freshmen and then early enrollees that, you know, should be finishing up their high school career. Mm-hmm. What's that like in that room? And do you feel like you can kind of impart some wisdom on some of those young guys like Arian Carter or T-Land or Jalen Smith?
Yeah, it's been good to get to know the guys. I feel like, you know, they're teaching me. You know, I'm learning so much from these guys over here. And whatever needs to be done in the room, or I hope I can impart some type of wisdom or knowledge in the 5 years I've been playing. But really, I'm just grateful to be in the room, be around those guys. Those guys are some studs and some ballers, and I'm grateful for it.
What have you guys enjoyed about Brian Jean-Marie and Willie Martinez?
You know, Coach Willie is just a man with, like, a great personality and like care for everybody in the room. It doesn't matter. We got a lot of guys in the room because we meet as DBs together, but Coach Willie could tell you something important about everybody in the room, which is something that like I really appreciate regardless of the amount of guys that we got. And he's going to hold us to the standard at all points of the day. It doesn't matter what's going on. And so it's good because, sometimes people get lost in the cracks with so many guys on a team, and especially with so many guys in one position. But Coach really makes sure that everybody feels, loved at the end of the day, and that's what you need when you get to this type of stage, and you got a lot going on. So it's good to have those types of people.
Yeah, similar to Coach BJ, I think that in the little time that I've known him as a coach, is he really cares about the players, like really cares about who we are, what we want to do with our life, our future, and what's to come. And, you can go to him with your goals, and he's going to keep you accountable in that way because he's very energetic and he'll get on you if he needs. But really, I think that's the biggest thing that's stood out so far is that he's a coach that really cares for the players and what you do on the field and what you do off the field.
If there's one thing that you could take from BYU and implement it here as part of the culture that you thought worked well for what BYU did, and maybe you could work well here, what would it be? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think everybody, it's a copycat game. One school does this in recruiting, 15 other schools start doing that because it worked for that one school. I mean, like, is there something you feel like that, you could do it, bring from BYU to Tennessee that, would be good?
I think something we focused so much on at BYU was trying to make a lovely, like a true family environment. And when you say brotherhood, what does that look like? When the guy next to you, I call him my brother. Or, well, what are you willing to do for your brother or sacrifice in your life that you need to for the team? And I hope, they are already doing that, and hopefully we can transition that part. That's a piece I love that I take from BYU in my time there is that love aspect and that true family and brotherhood.
Yeah, though my time was short over there, I also was at Vanderbilt before, like Keenan hit it on the head. The love aspect's big over there because I had just walked in and I felt like I'd been there for 5 years just like Keenan. I think that if you could bring that in anywhere you go, especially here at Tennessee, but anywhere in life, it just will make everything go more smoothly. And I see the guys on the team, they all hang out. They all, love each other, but translating that love to the field also will just, get us to bigger places than even they did this past season, I think.
So as you roll through spring practice, what do you want to get done this spring? I mean, starting spots aren't won in spring ball, but you can obviously take a step towards that. What do you want to get accomplished through these 15 practices?
Yeah, I want to become a better athlete, better player on the field, and better studier in the film room. I think during spring ball and most importantly, getting to know the guys and building the culture that we need to and getting accustomed to how things are here in Tennessee. I think that's a big thing I'm looking forward to in spring.
Yeah, I guess kind of the same aspect of Keenan. But, I want to be able to understand the guys that I play with on the back end, especially the guys that play safety and star. Because, of course, at corner, I do my certain thing, but I have to understand who's going to help me and where. I want to be able to know what guys like to call when we're in certain situations, so I don't ever have to worry about we were on two different pages because, playing DB, miscommunication is the reason why you get beaten a good majority of the time. So if I'm able to be on the same communication scale with everybody on the field, I think that'll just, roll over to the football season and, eliminate some of the mistakes that I made through the film watching that I've seen this past year.
You guys feel like you guys have gotten closer because you knew each other walking in the door? Maybe not necessarily super close at BYU, but maybe you're closer now because you kind of had that commonality?
Yeah, we laugh about that sometimes. We're closer here than we probably were at BYU, to be honest.
And in what way? What have you learned about each other?
Keenan said that funny. At BYU, it was Keenan's more place, he'd been there and such. So I'd be like, you just used to hang out with everybody in the corner. I never talked to you. And I was like, do you ever speak words? That's essentially what I said when we first came to Tennessee. He was like, yeah. He was like, I'm just comfortable. But I got to know Keenan and Keenan's wife, got to just understand his story a little bit more, which is good because we're going to be on the field together. And those are the things that I've gone over to his apartment. We got to hang out, and especially at the beginning when I didn't really know as many people on the team, it was nice to be able to not just hang out in my apartment by myself, because that was part of the reason why I also left BYU, because I didn't really do much over there, so I wanted to be able to branch out and do more here, and so it's been nice.
What players have you connected well with since you got here?
Sure, I feel like I've connected pretty well with, you talk about Beasley and a lot of the linebackers in that room. I hope to build stronger connection with the younger guys, I think is what I want to do. But yeah, for sure those guys.
Who's impressed you most out of the younger guys?
Impressed me most. A lot of them. Like Arion, he's crazy athletic, for sure. Ben Bolton too. He's up there with the athleticism and just pure raw talent. Yeah, for sure. Those two are.
What about a corner?
I'd say Jordan Matthews, if I had to be 100% honest. He takes the film room to the field really well, and he's not afraid to ask questions, which I think a big thing with guys that are young is either they think they know everything or like they're too afraid to ask the questions. And though he might not ask them to Coach Willie, he'll ask them to me, BT, a whole bunch of other guys, and he'll translate that to the field. But I think all of them are learning on their own scales, and I think spring ball will be good for them. Ricky, he's crazy athletic, and I think Christian Conyer just figuring it out right now. Once he figures it out, it'll all come in droves for him. But Jordan Matthews for sure I think he's a cut above right now, but everybody's doing their own thing.
Helps his dad played in at LSU, and he's kind of, you know what I mean, like you've got somebody to kind of lean on about how to approach things, as you said, not being afraid to ask questions. What's the best thing you've learned about Knoxville to this point?
Best thing I learned about Knoxville
that you did not know, even back to your official visit, any of that? Because, I mean, you're going to see anytime you take a visit, Alabama, Tennessee, McNeese State, wherever, they're going to show you the best parts, right? Uh-huh. What have you found when you went out exploring with the wife or exploring with teammates?
Found a lot of good food, for sure. I didn't know it was as nice as it looks. Like, I feel like once all the greens here, it's going to look super nice in Knoxville.
Well, you want to get on the lake and go fishing, man. I mean,
yeah, no,
we're getting warmer. We're getting warmer.
I'm getting there. But, yeah, for sure, those things.
I'd say, food, because I'm a big food guy, but also, like, I thought the weather here was going to be really bad, like, the whole time. Because, like, Utah, first of all, is horrible. I hate the snow. It's just absolutely horrible. And then,
we don't ever get snow here.
It's 10 degrees warmer here than it was in Nashville, which is so much nicer because it got pretty cold and pretty yucky in Nashville. So, like, I like that it's been pretty sunny the last couple of weeks, and it just makes the overall, vibe a lot better.
I think sometimes, too, the plateau, which is over here, the Cumberland Plateau, kind of blocks some of the wind. Like, the wind hits Nashville, I think, a little more, which is why you get tornado warnings a lot more in the mid-state than you do here. I think it kind of kills some of that. So thus you don't, if it's 55 and the wind's blowing 20, it's not really 55, right?
Exactly.
Whereas if it's 55 and there's no wind, it's still 55. When you look at this team, what made Tennessee the right fit to want to come play here? I mean, obviously the success last year, they win the Orange Bowl, they go 11-2. But when you're making that decision, and you've got multiple years left, but you don't, how are you kind of weighing, like, because I mean, like, you could easily make the bad decision. I mean, every year there are recruits that go to the wrong school and, end up switching around. How do you do that when you're older?
Yeah, especially being a one-year guy, it's kind of tough. That's why I said that process was so condensed and fast. I was like, man, this is a tough decision. But really, Tennessee, I think the relationship I had with the coaches from the jump is what helped me a lot. But then when we came on the visit, wasn't planning to commit on my visit or do any of that. Being around the people in the program and feeling the culture here is what really drove me to do that during that weekend.
You just got that feel, that vibe.
Yeah, once I felt the feeling, I went and talked. I remember they dropped us off at the hotel, and I went to my wife. I said, "What'd you think?" She was like, "I know." And I was like, "Okay, I'll do it." And then I committed like 10 minutes later.
Most of the time you're trying to impress the mom in recruiting. With Keenan, you're trying to impress the wife in recruiting. What about you?
Though I do have 2 years left, I made it with the decision of, like, only really wanting to come and play 1 year.
Sure, but you got the wiggle room if you need it.
Yeah. I pretty much, same thing. And my mom was the deciding factor. She's a good people person, right? And she understood that this was going to be the place that was going to get me to where I want to go, academically, football-wise, and just, like, life. I did go 2 other places after that, but I had, like, the itch and inclination the whole time. Even though I'd gone 2 places next, I was like, I kind of already know where I want to go. And, playing in the SEC, like, I've now witnessed playing against other people, and it's just like the caliber of people here are just significantly better. And if you want to go make that next step to go play in the NFL, you got to be here, if anywhere else. I know I'd gone and visited Pac-12 school. I'd gone and visited Big 12 school, and then we played independent. But playing, at Vanderbilt before, the guys in this league are just way better. And so if you think that you can make the next step, then you got to show it every Saturday in this league.
You were at BYU for so long. How much do you... I don't mean, it's not even the old man joke. I'm just saying, but like you've got the developed relationships. As you told him, you felt comfortable there with certain things. How much have you picked up the phone and called some of your old teammates and just shot the bull with them, and then just kind of because you want to keep those friendships alive?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We keep those relationships strong, and we'll call all the time. Do
they ask about here?
Yeah, all the time, asking what Tennessee like, what's the team like. All things like that. They know it's like BYU. You're at a school, 30 kids are married, and a lot of those got kids, and like, what's it like at Tennessee and the SC? So it's funny on the phone. We all call and talk about those things.
Has the wife been able to find her little niche here? Because I think that's important, right?
There. Yeah, that's super important. Yeah, she's getting there. She's huge into fitness, and she's meeting some people in the area, and she'll probably find something to do out here. Keep her busy, and she'll like that.
All right, we're gonna go a little rapid fire. Both answer, not long answers though. They don't have to be 1 or 2 words, but they don't need to be 3-minute soliloquies. Morning person or sleeping in?
That's a tough one.
I can do both. It depends when I fell asleep.
During the week, morning person, but weekend always sleeping.
Yeah, gotta catch up.
What's one item you always bring, or one item you always keep in your fridge?
I have nothing in my fridge. I only get the stuff from the facility, so I guess water.
Ice cream for my wife. That's about it.
What kind of ice cream?
Anything like nutty. Pecan, pistachio. Those
butter pecan. What's an unpopular opinion you stand by?
I got a ton. But I can't think of them. Can't think of it right now.
Okay, I'll give mine. When I was at BYU, everybody believed that like California had the best high school football, but I think that Texas has the best high school football, bar none. I'll die with that on my death stone. That's what I think. Unpopular opinion.
My unpopular opinion. Still can't think of one. I don't know.
Favorite NFL team?
Raiders.
Don't have one.
You're a Texas kid and you don't have a favorite NFL team?
I was a Tom Brady fan through and through, so like I guess wherever Tom Brady played, but I don't have a favorite NFL team.
Favorite sport other than football?
Basketball.
Track.
Jordan or LeBron?
Kobe.
Hey.
LeBron.
Kobe. No Kobe's in here.
Dante Thornton was LeBron. Or no, sorry, was Kobe. Winter Olympics or Summer Olympics?
Summer all day.
Yes.
One thing you love to do in the snow, even if you hate it.
I used to be an extreme snowboarder, so like I like to snowboard, but I just don't like being cold.
Snowboarding?
Yeah.
Actually? Oh, nice. Most I've done is sledding, so I have sledding.
Best first date idea. You don't answer this one.
Well, I mean, I have a long-term girlfriend right now. But,
Well, that's okay, but you're not married though.
Best first date idea.
What did you do with this girlfriend on a date?
We went and I love sushi, so we went and got sushi.
Okay.
And we like ordered like omakase chef style, and so he brought out whatever he wanted to for us, and so it was good. And she
was impressed.
New to like the sushi style, so she would try some new stuff, so it was good.
All right, now you're married. Take me through first date.
First date.
First date with your wife. When did you know? So this is different. Like we normally have these kids on here. They're sure not married. we can go down a different road here. When did you know she was the one?
I think it was the like our third or second date. I think, as weird as that sounds.
No,
but
doesn't sound
weird
weird.
as that sounds, yeah. And then we got married like a year later, or proposed. But anyways, first date, picked her up, axe throwing, dessert, like a ice cream chocolate cookie thing. That's it.
Did she beat
Short
you in
and
axe throwing?
Probably. I don't even think I can't remember hitting it the right way, so.
It just kept bouncing off.
Yeah.
You guys like darts?
You like to play darts, yeah?
Yeah, I like darts. Cool.
You were quick on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have my fair share of darts. Played with the boys before.
Nice.
Yeah.
Who's the most competitive teammate you've met here?
Come on, lad.
Competitive. Go Pack.
Pat Garland?
Uh-huh.
I asked you a minute ago, morning person or sleeping in. You guys practice in the morning. What did you do at BYU? Is it morning or afternoon?
Afternoon.
I'll be interested to see what you think morning practices.
It's not this is not the earliest I've had practice before though. Like it was my first 2 years at Vanderbilt. We were on the field at 6:30 in the morning, so this is like perfect time.
Yeah, it's not too.
It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
It is,
liking
man.
this.
Trust me.
Liking the schedule.
You're home, especially being a married guy. This is actually
yeah.
nice for you. You know,
it's
I mean,
nice.
like,
You're done by 12. Like done 12:30, 12:50, 1 o'clock. Yeah.
what's this, school look like for you now as an older guy?
I'm in graduate program. I think he is as well.
Yeah, you're both
Just-
graduated.
Yeah.
doing a graduate program.
But I mean, like, how many hours of semester are we talking about for that?
I think 9. I think I'm in 9 right now.
Yeah, I'm in 9. I just go to class on Tuesday and Thursday, and then the rest of the week.
So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you truly are done. You will be done at.
Yeah, and then even when I go to class on Tuesday and Thursday, I'm done at 2. So like, it's very, very feasible, and I go get recovery for a majority of the rest of the day. So I'm not good and ready for the next day.
What do you enjoy about Smokies?
Smokies is the best food I've had.
There's like 3
anywhere.
different. Yeah, there's 3 different dinners at dinner. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm getting used to. There's like a thing here, thing here, thing here.
So you got
cook
options.
over there. Yeah, options.
Like if
It's
you say
nice.
you don't like it, like that means you didn't try to go get something that you can literally make your own food there. So you can make something you
What
like.
do you make? What you know what I mean? Like what's one thing that they don't have every day that you're like, it just sounds good. I'm gonna get that.
The day I usually cook is on the stir fry day. That's when I cook the rice, meat.
When they have like personal pizzas, I do the personal pizza.
Oh,
day.
those are
Like,
good, too.
Those are really good.
What's your go-to pizza?
Spinach and chicken.
That look.
Spinach and chicken. All right.
You,
I'm a meat lover. There's sausage, pepperoni. Call it good. Oh, and bacon.
when you got to college, what'd you weigh?
When I was a safety in high school. So when I got to college, I was, maybe 200.
And you're not 240.
Yeah.
What about you?
240.
151 pounds soaking wet.
And now what are you?
Jeez.
Oh, I was 189 today, I think.
So you put on almost 40 pounds.
Yeah.
What's mom and dad say about that? Like when you show back up and they've not seen you in a month or two and you put on 25 pounds.
They probably told me why you didn't do that sooner.
When I first came home, it was 6 weeks later, and I had gained like 37 pounds in 6 weeks. And my mom was like, "You're fat," and I was like, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Your face is chubby," and I was like, "I just put on weight finally." She goes, "Oh, that might be right." So that was good.
6 weeks?
Yeah,
That's fast.
I was a big boy.
I tell you who continue to hear good things about adding weight this offseason is Caleb Herring.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
he came in at 206 and he's up at 230 right
Oh
now.
yeah.
That's cool.
Have you guys noticed much about him?
I didn't notice the weight thing. I saw everyone at once meeting everybody.
Sure.
So it's hard to pinpoint what it was, but yeah.
Is it hard to keep up with? I mean, because you all have so many. I mean, especially you literally learned 100 players at BYU, and 6 months later you're learning 100 new players here. Is it hard to kind of keep up with teammates and names and?
I wouldn't say that, like, the names and such is pretty easy. It's just like learning a whole bunch of defenses, right? It's more or less like actually getting to know everybody. Like, I could probably tell you what a certain person's name is, but I couldn't tell you like really like much of anything about them. So it's just more or less building those like actual relationships with a lot of the guys on the team.
Much like the recruiting class comes in, they kind of they've known each other from junior days and recruiting visits and such, and they kind of stick together. Do the transfers do the same? Like, I mean, when I had Dante on last week, he talked about how he hangs out with Omar Norman Lott, John Campbell. Mm-hmm. All of those guys are new transfers this offseason? Do the transfers tend to gravitate towards each other just because they're coming in, or
Maybe a little bit.
I know you hang out with your wife all the time. What are you talking about?
I already got it.
I don't know. I guess like though I'm not married, I kind of like my girlfriend comes up almost every weekend, so I hang
From
out
Nashville?
with her a lot. No, she goes to grad school at SMU, but
Okay.
she's from home. But I hung out with Keenan a couple of times, but the DBs have got together, so the DBs hang out a lot together. So it's been nice to hang out with them.
through winter workouts, where have you gotten better?
I think overall body and health, for sure, in the winter workouts has been my main goal, main focus.
I definitely say like speed, like more burst from the get-go, because we do a lot of, programming the body to be able to get out in and out of breaks and just like starting off in the 40. So I think overall speed has really gotten better.
Do you have a feel for the tempo yet? I mean, is there something you can do during winter workouts to understand, like, maybe not during real games you'll see this tempo, but during practice going against this offense, this is going to be boom, 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 boom.
The tempo of the offense, are you talking about? Not yet. I haven't. I actually played versus Coach Heupel in his offense before. That thing is fast. Yeah, I'll say that. It is fast, though.
That's right, when he was at UCF. BYU played with.
BYU played them COVID year. And we played versus that. It was really fast.
You glad all that's behind us from a standpoint of, like, having full crowds? I mean, like, just because.
Yeah. I don't know. It was just like, especially when the SEC like came out that we were gonna like shut down football, and I was just like, there's just no way that we could do that, right? And then like the first game I played at Texas A&M, and there was no such thing as COVID over there. It was 95,000 people, and then the rest of the season having 0 people. It just like didn't feel right to be playing football and playing in the SEC. Like going to Neyland and like there's nobody there at
like
all.
20,000 people.
Yeah, and you just look up and it's just empty. It's just super hard to be able to play the game. But I'm so happy it's over now because, we get to experience this thing and fully rocking, especially after last year.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite years, though. Not gonna lie. BYU was kind of fun. It was kind of fun.
I'm glad you had a good time. What did you know about Tennessee before you got here? Like anything?
Too much.
Did you know like players that have played here? Any of that stuff? What did you know?
Not too much. I had a cousin here who played a little bit ago, Mapu, but
JT's your cousin, huh?
yeah,
I did not know that.
yeah.
So how often have you talked to him since you?
He called me when I was on my visit here. Yeah, he called me right before the photo shoot. He's like, I gotta come out there, come catch a game. But that was a cool little connection here.
Sure. I don't even know that part of this. What about you?
I mean, of course, Eric Berry and Peyton Manning and such, but like I didn't really know how like deeply rooted the culture was. But I mean, I knew enough because it was a rivalry from when I was at Vanderbilt, and so a lot of guys. There's like a couple guys that are at Vanderbilt that decided to flip from Tennessee that went to Vanderbilt, ironically. So that they told me what they knew, but it's been nice to get to, be rooted in it now.
That was interesting coming to Tennessee is the whole like Southern football culture. I didn't even like you kind of hear about it, but like being here now, man, they love football. Like the fans and the area around here, like you just hear about it when you're in the West Coast.
And you've not got to experience it. Yeah, I mean, like you get a little bit during spring practice. That'll kind of whet the appetite a little bit. But this fall will be, especially coming off 11-2. This place over here will be hopping every Saturday, and I know you guys will be excited for that. 2 key additions out of the transfer portal heading into this 2023 season: Keenan Pili, Gabe Jeudy-Lally. Guys, we appreciate the time, and good luck this spring and good luck this fall, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.